Years after her magical transformation, Cinderella had built a happy life with her husband, the prince, and their two lovely daughters. Her children filled her days with joy, their laughter lighting up her heart. But despite the beauty of her life, she felt a growing emptiness. Her husband, once full of warmth and love, had grown distant. He barely spoke to her, caught up in his duties, leaving her longing for the affection he no longer showed. At first, Cinderella tried to brush off her feelings, thinking he'd come back to her in time. She poured herself into caring for her daughters and keeping their home full of love and warmth. But the more she gave, the more she realized how little she received in return. She felt like she was vanishing, like the Cinderella she'd once been was fading away. Finally, she decided to try something bold. If he couldn't appreciate her warmth, she'd act just like him. She began mirroring his coldness, focusing only on her children and herself. She stopped waiting for him to come home, stopped looking to him for comfort. She built a life that no longer revolved around his approval or affection, showing him the emptiness he'd created between them. As time went on, the prince started to notice the change. He found himself missing the warm, loving woman he'd once married, realizing the depth of his mistakes. He felt regret weigh heavy on him and understood what he'd taken for granted. One evening, he approached Cinderella, asking her for a chance to make things right. He promised to cherish her once more, just as he had in the beginning. Cinderella, strong and wise, gave him a chance. Not for the sake of the past, but for the future of their family. She forgave, but she never forgot the lesson she'd learned. Love is meant to be shared, not taken for granted.